So I want to talk to you about Anthony Bourdain. He was a model for a lot of people on like food TV, and he was just like a white dude that got it, right? So like, what do you miss about Anthony Bourdain in the food conversation?
Oh man, we both knew him, right?
Yeah, I did his show, the last No Reservations he did in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And I got to know him. The only time we hung out was that day. Yeah. But I read Kitchen Confidential, which that changed my life when it came to food and it came to looking at chefs. I didn't realize how much went into being a chef until I read Kitchen Confidential. But when I read it, I realized that we were working at the Supper Club in New York at the same time. So I was probably eating his food.
Oh, shit.
It was a fantastic experience with him on the show.
So you were performing and he was cooking?
I was handing out flyers for the party promoters who were Funkmaster Flex was the DJ at that club.
Nice.
He was DJ. I mean, he was cooking.
Yeah.
But then what was great was after I did his show, we stayed in touch.
Yeah.
So I could hit him. I would be in Italy, like in Rome. I'd be like, where can I go to eat?
He answers emails real quick.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Beto and Mary.
Yeah.
Check that. I went there and I don't eat beef or pork, and that's all they served there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which I know was his shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, I want to hear about what she was asking you about.
Yeah, for sure. My relationship with Anthony Bourdain was kind of like a relationship I had with the homies on the street, right? So I already knew he's an extremely well-read, witty, verbally proficient human being, like the way he looked at the world. And I wasn't interested in getting into philosophical arguments or discussions with him. Like, I had a relationship, because most people that have relationship with Tony, they love the tennis match of going back and forth and being witty and talking and finishing each other's sentences or going at each other. For me, I could spend hours with him, not say a word. Again, those are the relationships for me that mean the most, is when you can sit on a couch with someone and just not even say a word, and just look over, and the only thing you say, "You hungry?" And then you get up and you go eat. And that's kind of the relationship I had with Tony. Is he published my book,
LA Sun.
LA Sun. We had a great relationship all throughout. The first time I met him was I did his show, The Layover. And but from the moment we met, we just it was like I met an old friend. And we just kind of, I don't know, we had like a silent relationship. It was weird.
Like one of those friends you'd go over and then take a nap.
Yeah. Take a nap. Yeah, just take a nap. And then, one of those relationships where you never have to explain yourself to each other. We like the same foods. We like the same things. And we'd be very honest with each other about stuff right out of the gate. Like in 2012, I made an adjustment to my eating habits because what happened was that was the anniversary of the LA riots, and a lot of people I just had this weird reaction to the internet where everyone was saying the city is doing so well right now. And for me, I was seeing so many hungry people on the street, and a lot of kids with no opportunities, and I was like, what do you fuck you mean this city's doing good right now? Right. And
they didn't see your perspective.
So I decided to change my diet and eat more vegetables, because I felt like I was doing everything I possibly could with the freedom that I had to try to redirect what was happening out here.
Right.
And I was hitting brick walls every time. So I was like, you know what, maybe if I change my diet, it'll just, at least for 1 second of the day, it'll allow me to think of maybe something I would have never thought about. And then, and it became this huge viral thing. It was like weird. Like when I decided to say that I was going to eat more vegetables and fruits, like people freaked the fuck out. They're like, what, are you vegan now? You vegetarian? You're not eating meat anymore? What's going on? And then Tony wrote me and he's like, listen, I totally respect your point of view, but you got to understand that there are cultures around the world where meat is a privilege and it's a cultural right, a passage. And I just want you to consider that. And
he definitely liked meat
and he would
a
just
lot.
throw me stuff like that.
I love me some meat.
He was like a meat advocate.
Yeah.
What we done started. Look at what we done started. This the people party. When opportunity knocking, then young nigga move that door. Whoa, get your foot stuck in it, call me young, go get it. They can't fuck with it, might as well roll with it.